Hello, salot ina edlarot kudun zinik ino balanit ala. Dene nor site services Alberta's and steamers kadona ta. Experience the herut ilu on the job training class 5 license notes in a zoom class 3 to class 1 de lunk adu kudene nor site services positions debits on the gola. Steamers Kadenata. Steam operators will be responsible for steaming heavy civil equipment in northern Alberta. Idila. Some positions camp available and can accommodate outside the region, while others are local. No experience needed. Henilat la Kadanutari. Careers at denenorth.ca. But en message otlare email. Facebook but en message otle Ea salot in a lakadan utare Dene North Site Services. Bets and message outle. No.
就是跟你家希望的路线的。你是大陆是他们这手呀，是他们这手，British有bikini dress like 7, 8 da eu estou sacando lá tio. Tinha análise eu bikini dress so. E eu estou dando estou jogando dinheiro. Sanada estou e Dene transportation nada meio por isso na paz esse interessante. Por isso assim sabe o nejo de cada dia vamos ter sans.
Nechala ne ahultelsana. Good evening, Salot in Edlarot. It's a beautiful day today. Sultadzi no hunt on the zone the sun. And it's all we can ask for doing right now in this moment. Hello to Nide, Dok Ozzy. Say hi, say what's up. Doing zinik Saziba no Nile de see Willis Janvier Hushe all the way up north in Telas Tuazi Clearwater River Dene Nation band member at the Esclio and doing zinik Halhuntasi Dare Treaty Fort Territory home of the Cree Métis Sioux, Assiniboine, Lakotas, all beautiful indigenous people. Yes. Hello, Duni. I got a guest for you tonight. Leanne Gailey in Telas Tuazi, Washington. It's inoniba air ne yaundi and kola doon zinek doon town council the Dow principal at Lyon Elementary School and Seeslagen as a dela an intelas to it over past year, 2 years, COVID, all that stuff. So if you're curious, and Tahu Ozzy, ask a question. Don't be shy. I'm sure I in Telas Tuna Daisy, they want to know what's going on, maybe what's next. Christmas and there's a lot of stuff going on. So we will get into that. Hello, Ryan, Michael, Amelia, Sharon Yazzie. Hello, Adlanate, Marvin Villat. Hello, good evening. Welcome. So with that, Leanne Noas Taylor, and then we'll get going. Masi Cho for being with us tonight. Hello, Leanne Adlanate.
Sost ila kunden Willis.
Nezu Aurelia. And doon zinik ay masin enestan sa halon tatin dana introduce her in yadet anent unity neltsiu and yeah.
Okay, well, I'm Leanne Gailey. I'm the principal at Ducharme Elementary School, like Willis said, and I'm also on the village council of Lalash, the village of Lalash.
Cool, Nezu, good. How was that? This is your first time on council, wasn't it?
Yep, it's my first term, so we were sworn in last November, so just over a year that we've been in.
Oh yeah, I remember that because it's been a year now since I recorded your brother, and here we are today. And
Yeah.
I talked to you then before. Yeah, that's right. What has it been like for the past year?
It's definitely fun. Definitely, you think you know what's going on, and actually being in it, it's a whole different story. And but I'm very proud of all the council that we work with and mayor, and we're definitely a collaborative group, and we try our best for our village, the best that we can. We're very respectful of each other, and everyone brings different items, different agendas at every meeting. Everyone's definitely working very hard. So it's a very, very hardworking, involved, dedicated group for sure.
Yeah, cool. Nezu, and Silagan out days in the past year. Cool. COVID boss. How did you handle it in the first time? And then now, pretty much decisions with a group of people. I guess you kind of balance, and not really the end, but
No.
where it settled down.
So I definitely have to commend the previous mayor and council who did a lot of the groundwork right when Lalash had the first outbreak. So kudos to them. So when we kind of went in, things were a little bit more calm with the COVID numbers in our community. Just having to make decisions of what's best. Obviously through input from our through SHA and medical health officers, obviously the science behind everything. And I know sometimes we made people frustrated, with some decisions being made. Like, first of all, I guess one I can kind of remember right now is probably, the proof of vaccination for our community hall.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an incentive, to keep everyone safe. It's nothing new. The rest of the province is pretty much the same. Wherever you need to get into, you can't even go into a restaurant nowadays without showing proof of vaccination, right? So it's not just a Lalash thing. We're not trying to hurt our people. We're trying to, make it safe for everyone and bring up our vaccination numbers. And right now we're sitting at 65% our first dose, and hopefully we can get to that 75%, 80% mark sooner rather than later. But the end all, we're definitely, whatever decision we make, it's always the safety for our community, right?
Yeah. And I was going to ask you 65% vaccination rate right now.
Yeah, for our first dose. Our second dose is not as high, but
do you see, I know you guys had an incentive early on to get vaccinated, people vaccinated, draws, TVs. I know you had that. Is it kind of died down now with people not really getting vaccinated or even wanting to?
Well, so our first dose, we're currently at 65.2% as of this was November 17, and then second dose was 47.1. But weekly, like our vaccination rates are changing anywhere from 10% to 5% to 2%. So it's a slow process, but I think we'll get there eventually. Especially, I'm noticing a lot of workplaces, even Northern Lights, for example, as of November 30th, same thing, like all staff have to have proof of vaccination, and anyone entering our schools is the same thing, or provide negative COVID tests. So I think eventually we'll get there. It's slow, but I think people were just kind of waiting around to, kind of see what was going to happen and trying to, come to terms with it themselves for whatever reason, right? And we have to respect that. But at the end of the day, obviously we want that 75, 80%, right?
Yeah, and I was a little reluctant myself, but I'm vaccinated now, and I didn't like the point that I felt forced, but it's something we got to do, and to not have to wear a mask one day, I would like that for sure.
I know. My biggest thing, like my heart breaks for our kids, right? Like we're in the school all day wearing masks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you see 4 and 5-year-olds, wearing masks all day, and like our kids are so used to it. Our kids are amazing. I couldn't commend them anymore. Like, I don't know, that's how it always is with everything. Kids are just so easily adaptable, and they know the routine, they know what is expected, and I just can't wait for the day where they don't have to be so uncomfortable all day, right?
Yeah, I know. Sa Leanne school on it when I pick her up, right away, rehearsing like mask nurse too, and because it's like a filter or that's something you use, right? I don't want to
And
get into that because
she's probably so used to it. That's probably why she forgets to take it off.
yeah, I know, and I was like that too because Tazen alas now anywhere you go you have to wear it, and then I was starting the other day I realized, oh, now I'm just lowering it now. I'm not even taking it off. I'm just lowering it.
Yeah.
So yeah, and like I said, a incentive then what you see to get it. Is it kind of slowed down now? You don't have that?
Yeah, we don't have. It was a grant that we had got from our previous village administrator, just specifically for COVID, and so we used all that funding up. And yeah, we purchased so many items. There was gift cards to Walmart, Costco, Best Buy, like everywhere, and there was generators we raffled off, and TVs and Apple TVs and PlayStation 5s, and you name it, we pretty much raffled it off.
Cool.
Anything just to kind of get it going, but yeah.
That's good. That's good. A lot of good stuff, and hopefully they do get there one day. That number. I know province is there, but it's within the community, and especially small community, indigenous community. They, we already had overcrowded housing and all that stuff, and which you won't have to deal with here pretty soon because I know you got a bunch of tiny homes that are about to open to people, and we'll get into that. And how has that been to be able to provide these homes? It's cool to see that article on the internet.
No, the Methy manager definitely works very hard, which is actually my dad. Works really hard getting the funding, right, for all these houses. These houses just don't magically appear. You have to, apply for grants all over the province for housing to take place. So, and Métis actually will have 6 of them. So the village, Methy will have 14, and 6 will be through Métis Nation. So there'll be a total of 20 tiny homes, and there's currently 96, I believe, applicants. So, that says a lot, right? That says that how many homes are needed in our community, and so it's definitely going to be a very difficult process in making the selections, right? Certain criteria that people need to meet, and go through the applicants, through every lens. And we do it collectively, and hopefully we can get these tenants listed hopefully before Christmas, or if not in January, because I believe the tiny homes should be completed by February.
Oh, nice. Nice. That's going to be tough to you grow in a community. Some of them might be family members, and not to be biased or anything, but how do you decide, like, what's the need basis, or
one of them is the income, your income, right? You can have, I can't remember the exact amount that your annual income must be lower than that. I think it was around 40,000. I can't recall, but that was definitely one of them. And then being single, and the definition of homeless is very broad, right? Homeless could be, somebody couch surfing from 3 different homes, right? Even though they're living in a house, right? They could be living at aunt's for 1 week, and then living with grandma another week, and then living with a brother, right? So that's a definition of homeless. Or It could be an adult living in a house with 10 other people, right? And they just want their own space. And it could be somebody with addictions that just doesn't have a place to stay. So the definition of homeless is very broad, right? Especially in our community. So it's anything that fits in those categories.
It's a big decisions you guys got to make here, and I'm sure you'll be able to make the right decision for the right people.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, we wish there was 96 tiny homes, right, and make it easy. And hopefully, down the road, if this project is successful within a couple of years, and maybe we could do it, again. But housing is always going to be a huge need in our community, right? Just like any other northern community. So
is that when you see maybe once they're done, do you think the manager will work on trying to get new grants, or is this like kind of a trial thing?
I believe he's probably going to, well, ever since he's been in, he's always looking for more grants for houses, right? It's almost like every year we're building houses. Just last year, last year or 2 years ago, their big project was the preschool, and then also the 6 teacher units and 6 nurses units. And then the previous years to that was just, residents' homes and the lash. So every year there's always seems to be a new project. So
good stuff. Nazoo, always something going on in LA, West LA, huh? And
always
doesn't sleep.
Nope. Probably the only quietest time, maybe I'm gonna say, is from like 6 to 7, maybe, if that.
Or Lac St. Anne days.
Or Lac St. Anne days. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good. A lot of good stuff going on there, and it's always nice to show the rest of the world, an Inte Las Tuiga. And I know this summer you guys had a downtown remodel project. What kicked that off there? I know for many years it's been talked about, I should say, to maybe revamp the area.
Yeah, actually that project, like that initial plan and design for the downtown improvement, started in 2008. So that actual design, it's nothing brand new. It's just didn't happen for whatever reason. And I personally think it was a great project, especially the people who made it happen, right? Like John Wagner and his crew there, like Buck LaPrice and Chris, and I'm so sorry, but there was a few, obviously other guys, but we have such amazing talent in our community, like all these guys, who basically can make anything happen, and they did, and it looks beautiful, and it's just something visually nice to see, right? And when something looks good, it releases endorphins and makes you feel good and makes, a positive impact. And so, of course, there's always, people make the comments of, oh yeah, it looks good, but we're not dealing with the real problems at hand with the, addictions and stuff, right? But we have to start somewhere, right? We're not going to change things overnight. We're not going to magically solve all the addiction problems, unfortunately, that we do have downtown, but we have to start somewhere.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. You can't just we hear it everywhere, with Indigenous people, and we kind of point the finger at leaders, but a lot of times we got to point that finger back at ourselves so we can move forward and make this stuff happen. And it's good to see. I know when I come home, me being in recovery, a lot of times I have those moments. I'm like, okay, I walked the triangle many times, but now I'll get to see something different and new, so that's good.
And and it's a whole, it's not just the downtown, right? We're trying to kind of do it throughout the community. This past summer, we also put in new signs for many businesses in La Loche. So when you're first driving into the community on the highway, you'll see a bunch of local signs, and we helped businesses create the signs, and we made it happen, and we installed them, and then we also got grants for a baseball field. And I know for sure our staff at Ducharme, we utilized it a few times, so it's wonderful. A few people came out to watch. It was fun. Definitely reminded me of how out of shape I am. And then also we did an upgrade to our Washington Beach, so we put in new playground equipment for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so again, it's just the little things, right? But hopefully we can keep doing that as the years go on. And yeah.
That's good. I got a question here for you. From what about our disability people? I'm a father of 6. A disability has trouble walking on stairs. Been looking for a house over a year with Métis housing. I guess Métis and Village are something different.
Yeah, Métis. Hey, Jamie. Good to hear from you. Yeah, Métis is not Methi housing, but I don't know what housing you do live in right now. But that is a very good question. That's actually a question I've seen quite some time. For ramps, I think that's what you're talking about, is the ramps when you walk into houses. I'm not 100% sure for Methi units how that works, but that's something that we can definitely chat about at our meeting. But I definitely appreciate the question, Jamie, and you're definitely right about the disability for walking ramps. Again, I'm assuming that's what you're talking about, but thanks for the question, Jamie.
Would be nice if we had disability housing. Maybe even, I guess, elders would need ramps too.
Yeah. No, that's a very, very good question.
Yeah, it would be good for, just make it easy for people, Jamie, and it's already tough, I'm sure. Why make it tougher to get home?
Yeah.
Yeah. This new Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol. It's not called Paw Patrol.
But I know it's not called.
Oh my God. I say that all the time too. I have to stop myself. But it was a collective decision on the people who initially started. So
yeah.
That's what we voted on. So it's actually called La Loche Paw Protection Corporation.
I'm glad you caught on to what I said, though. Yeah, this Paw Protection Corporation. Well, tell me about it. I know the other day a photo from La Loche became a meme with all the dogs. Personally, I don't like that stuff, because I'm from there, and I tell people I'm from La Loche. The first thing is it's a bad place, and I don't like it. And I always address it right away. I said, no different than downtown Saskatoon or wherever I am in that moment. It's just, I mean, the internet can be bad for us or it can be good, right? And I think that's something bad. It doesn't really paint a picture. And hopefully, with this Paw Protection Corporation, don't laugh here. I'm done. Paw Patrol Corporation. What are they going to do? What's going to happen?
So initially, right, when you're a part of the village council, you're part of different boards within the community, right? Some people are a part of the fire department, the La Loche Minor Sports. What else is there? SRC, right? And so there's no formal board for a dog committee. So myself, along with Georgina Park Janver from the village, we have come together and, kind of asked all the people who've been in it since the beginning, right? People like Rainey May Fontaine, Tamara Fontaine, Carly LeMague, a former RCMP officer, Jackie King. Marina Janver was once a part of it. Who else was there? Elma Janver from the reserve, Amanda Black, right? There was many people who have been doing all this all these years, right? It's just no one kind of put things together to kind of make it a legalized corporation. So that's what we've been working on, and with the help of the village. So we just became an incorporated Lalash Pop Protection Corporation, and so we have directors on this board, and we're in the process of we have short-term plans and we also have long-term plans. So, short-term plans, we've been inviting organizations such as Saving Grace. They've come a few times to do at-large dog pulls. And that's where, they collect stray dogs from the street and then they would take them to their organization and they get adopted out. We also, the community used to always do clinics where it would happen at Dene High School and people could bring their pets and stuff, right? And they can get them fixed. So unfortunately, because of COVID, those clinics hasn't happened in a while, but a huge thanks to Martha Morin, who is the new village administrator. She's busy working on, contacting all of the different organizations that can take so many pets. We're hopefully going to look for some more dog catchers so that we could store them and then transfer them to these places that can take them. But the population of dogs is insane, right? And the reason for that is, unfortunately, this is the hard truth, and people sometimes don't want to hear it, is just we have too many irresponsible people not tending to their animal, right? They're all cute when they're puppies. They're so adorable, right? Little Johnny wants a puppy for Christmas. They're so cute, right? They're cute for the first year, and then all of a sudden it's work taking care of them. It costs money to buy dog food. It costs money to get them fixed. It costs money to get them shots. And then they just let them roam free. And that's what's happening. And we're regenerating the population over and over and over. And so we're trying to kind of come up with solutions. And we've been seeing so many different options out there. And we definitely appreciate everybody's opinion, right? But at the end of the day, this board is a huge step. But at the same time, we can't do it by ourselves. It has to be people from the community, the people who are breeding puppies and passing them off and, and not taking care of these animals the way they should be taken care of. That's not, I'm sorry, but that's not this board's problem, right? That this is not the leader's problem. It's the people who, we have to make those changes ourselves. Mm-hmm. But the long-term plan with this board is that we hope to fundraise to eventually have a building where it could be a dog pound or whatever you want to call it, where we can have a place to pick up stray dogs. And who knows, maybe, there would be fines that people would have to come collect their dog again if they want to grab their dog. Mm-hmm. And we have to register animals like the city, right? And I'm pretty sure Alacross even has registered animals. So if Alacross can do it, I'm pretty sure we can do it too, right? Yep. So again, that's like a long-term plan, right? But that's what I hope that comes of this board. But the short-term plans within that time, all the people who do the groundwork, the people I mentioned, Rainy May, Tamara, Alma. I know those ones are the ones who are out there doing the best that they can to care for these animals. So,
yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, you're right. I did the same and got a puppy. Now my mom is taking care of the puppy because I'm not able to, but I do feel bad. And, just to, but I wouldn't just let it go. I would make sure, I did it properly instead of just I wouldn't let my puppy be a stray. That's for sure. And, it's just, I like how you put that out there. You know, it's got to be on the people. I can't, you know, dogs having dogs everywhere. You know, some places you don't even know if a dog's pregnant. The babies anywhere, and then they start roaming, right?
Mhm. And
And
it's scary, like, like this is like you when you said like it's frustrating when you saw that it became a meme, that picture, right? And you don't like that negative um attachment to with Laloche with the dogs, right? But that's just that's the reality, right? And people don't even think about like how dangerous it is, like
Mhm.
these packs of dogs, it's dangerous. Like on our school playground, we have dogs jumping on our kids trying to take their snacks, right?
Mhm.
And if we had a large pack, and God forbid if something ever happened to one of our kids, or kids walking down the street, or even adults, like I've had staff members walking to work and they've been bitten by dogs,
Mhm.
right? And it's scary. Like I know there was a situation, I think it was in Canoe Lake. I don't know. There was where a kid was mauled by a dog, right? Like I just don't ever want to see that day happen, and nobody wants to see that happen. But everybody has to pitch in. If we don't want that to happen,
Mhm.
then get your dog fixed. And if you
Yeah.
can't get your dog fixed, then don't get a dog.
Yeah. Don't get a
Stop.
dog.
Yeah, stop breeding
Not cheap.
puppies, right?
It's not cheap. It's they're worse than kids. I swear, they're worse than
Yeah,
children.
they're expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, worse than they always need. I know Bella. She's always. I was just talking to my mom, and she said, "Yeah, always barking." I said, "Well, give her away. We'll sell her." She said, "No."
Mhm.
It's all good. No, I do hope that something comes from it long term. And again, it just comes down to the whole community. It's not
Mhm.
just me and you talking about it here. I hope people get that message and it's out there so they can come back and see what you said. You can't just say, "Oh, hey," or rumors or something.
Mhm.
Leanne told these.
No.
No, it's all good stuff. And right now, we're almost into the Christmas month.
Mhm.
Everyone else is in the Christmas season, it seems like. But till to December, I think you're gonna have some events, I guess, or activities, contests going on. Tell us about what do you guys got planned for the next
Yeah,
month?
so the annual CHPN talent show that everyone looks forward to, and some people just buy cable just to watch. So that's happening. That's actually the second week of December, I believe. I believe that's December 7 and 8, or 8 and 9. Anyway, one of those dates. What's the adults and kids, and then there's also the annual CHPN Christmas light show contest. So big prize money to be won. First place is $1,000, and then there's the Perry Herman actually had initially started this a few years back. He kind of took it upon himself to start a toy drive, and where he got donations from the community, got toys, and he just took the incentive to just go and give them to kids that he thought needed it for Christmas, who just didn't have Christmas, or who he thought just didn't have Christmas gifts on Christmas Day. And so, yeah, so it's called the annual Perry Christmas Toy Drive. And so the village is actually accepting any donations, and you will get a receipt if you do cash donations, as well as we're accepting toy donations. And Crystal Sylvester is actually spearheading that this year. And obviously, if you want to help or you need something to do, reach out to her if you have any questions. But yeah, those are all the fun Christmas things that are happening.
And people can come in any day and just say drop off for 20.
Yep. Monday to Friday at the village office. Priscilla is there at the front.
When does it go till?
I believe the 13th of December. It's whatever that Friday. That's not the 13th. The 10th, actually. Yeah, the 10th of December.
Cool. And then how do you go about, giving people, do families need to set up, sign up?
No,
to be able-
so Crystal's just working in partnership with the schools.
Mhm.
So she's just going to work with the schools and along with the student support workers, school administrators, as well as teachers, just to kind of highlight the kids that we think would appreciate that.
Not like every kid in school.
No.
Okay. It's kind of like the housing thing, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of tough decisions you got to make when it comes to, everything, all the issues in La Loche. You talk about addiction, mental health, and dogs, housing. It all comes into play, and I don't know how you do it. How do you get through your first year of dealing with mental health issues yourself personally and trying to maintain yourself to be able to make these decisions?
I have a very supportive partner and I have a very supportive family. I'm still at work, as you can see. I have long nights. I'm at work at 7:30 in the morning. Normally I'm home. I hope to be home by supper, but sometimes that's just my reality. I love working. I love giving back to the community. It's just in my nature. I just don't know how to just sit and not be a part of the solution, right? I believe that everyone has potential. There's so many role models in our community, and La Loche is amazing. Like I wouldn't have come back home. I wouldn't have, done the things that I've done if I didn't believe in La Loche and the people that live here. And I just know that we can do great things, and people just need to be reminded that we're capable of anything. And if I can help be a part of that difference, that's all I hope to do anyway.
Well, you're doing it, to get away from that oppressive mindset of colonialism, and you're working towards that. And, be proud, like you said, many role models, and I want to say Masi Cho for I don't know how, but you name me as a role model of the community, and and I appreciate that.
Yeah, so they're all through nominations. So yeah, I actually wanted to talk about that. If anybody ever wanted to nominate anyone for nomination to nominate somebody for a role model in La Loche, and yeah, Willis, you're a prime example. You're a role model. It's National Addictions Awareness Week, and you're a living example of you're a perfect role model, right? You've been it, you've experienced it. You had your lows, your complete lows, and look at you now. You let go of an Alberta high-paying job to be a broke student so that you could make a difference, right? And social work. And no, like social work, I always said if I wasn't a teacher, like social work was probably something I'd be interested in. So no, good on you. And no, for sure, it was definitely something well-deserved. So good for you.
Cool. Masi Cho. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm definitely not perfect, but keep moving forward. And, it's something I almost cried, and just I didn't really expect it. I know you planned it a little bit before, and, anybody is a role model within the community. It's anybody can be that person to be able to say, hey, they recognize me, and it feels good. And I hope more people get out there and do what you do. You don't need to have a title. You don't need to do anything. You just have to wake up and do something good.
That's right.
And that's all it comes down to. Well, Leanne, doon sinig mas senior sooner so Valentine Day. Dene Yati, aren't you there? If we left out anything, and Abanus Alu, and we'll end her on.
Just a couple other things I'd like to congratulate. If anyone doesn't know, we have a new village administrator, Martha Moore, and I know I kind of briefly said that before, but she's been wonderful. And if you see her in town, congratulate her. She's doing wonderful work already. The new elementary school, people are probably wondering about update about that. The new elementary school, we're still in the process of negotiations with the government. The the money that was allocated is just not quite enough of what we need for the actual build, but it should all be finalized hopefully by the new school year. And with that being said, hopefully construction would happen within a year. It was something that was said quite some time ago. You know, you kind of mentioned there about decolonization there. It was kind of briefly mentioned about, you know, if we ever got to a point for the new elementary school, if we should rename it, right? Currently, our school is Ducharme Elementary School. It is named after Father Ducharme, who was thankfully, you know, created or found the funds to build a school in La Loche, and rightfully so. He should obviously, the school should have been named after him, but that's something that's going to be coming out there pretty soon. We're going to ask for the public's opinion about renaming the new elementary school or keeping it Ducharme Elementary, but stay tuned for that. I'd like to congratulate Métis Nation. I believe they're hopefully bringing in more houses eventually, as well as congratulating the fire department team for the new fire hall that is completed. Good work that's happening in our community. And yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there as well. And yeah, that's everything. And thank you for your time and inviting me to talk tonight.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That's one thing I forgot too, because when I talked to Dimitra and all the history that came about of, you know, this might be another episode for strictly on that topic, but you know, when it comes to current events in the world now, Indigenous issues is at front, and all the stuff that has came about from residential schools, and then we thought, hey, our school is named after everything about him, but be nice maybe to honor an elder or something in the community. That's my opinion. But hopefully you guys as council and the community come up with something good, and I'm sure it'll work out. Masi chono and you have a good night, and let's AOS
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, salot in a kui Leanne Gailey adira yan se dau azino al will new. Lots of good stuff. Nintelas tourism. Oh man, and you know, vaccine boss. That's something it needs to be talked about more. Maybe encourage more to you know, you just get to the point where it's there already. Now I know there's just don't read anything on the internet and go with it. That's where I'm at with that, and I'm gonna not talk about vaccines again. But you know, good stuff in Telas too. You know, the next week I'm gonna go there actually. Clearwater's then Addictions Week. I'll be there, so and I look forward to that. So and then Christmas lights that connect and maybe you get a chance to win $1,000. And Teo Jen Bedrel even though you don't think you're good enough, just go try anyways. Get out there and entertain for everybody. You know, I wish I could watch that. Maybe it'll be on Facebook Live. Who knows? Anything is possible nowadays. But yeah, salot in a masi choner hosion duno halun tadult. Yeah. You know, and once again, Leanne, for all the good stuff she does in the community. Teo Tezu, good night. Stay safe. And see Willis Janvier, Hushin in Telas Tours, La Loche, Saskatchewan, Clearwater River Dene Nation band member at the SLU, and Doon Zinegedogos, you know, Haluntati Dade, Treaty 4 territory, home of the Cree, Métis, Sioux, Assiniboine, Dakotas, Lakotas, all beautiful people. Good night.